Hey there everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of our What's Hot series, What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. Today we're going to take a look at just one release. It's a pretty notable release from a very popular band that I like quite a bit, the Tedeschi Trucks Band, Signs. This is pretty hot off the presses. So Tedeschi Trucks Band, of course, that is the union of husband and wife team of Susan Tedeschi and Derek Trucks, the guitar player. She's also a guitar player and vocalist. They put this band together a few years back as to kind of be like a big band. They kind of really don't fit into any specific genre. You think of them as kind of like the modern day version of the Delaney and Bonnie band, right, from the 70s. Kind of like R&B and soul, a little bit of jam, a little bit of southern rock, some rock and roll, a little bit of everything, right? They kind of do it all. They don't stick to any one style. There's some jazz flavors as well, some pop, a little bit of Americana, right? So this is their latest album. They've got, their fourth studio album? I think it's their fourth. Yeah, I think it's their fourth studio album. They pump out a new album like every 2 years. It's a good one. It's real solid. Let's show you what the digipack looks like there. Okay. Now, as you can see, whoops, as the CD goes flying out of its case. Don't do that at home, boys and girls. They have a dedication here. This album is dedicated to our friend and mentor, Colonel Bruce Hampton, of course, who passed away. And ironically, while they dedicate this album to him, and they also, very nicely do a nice little dedication to some other fallen friends. Of course, you got Greg Allman there, Sidell Davis, Leon Russell, B.B. King, and Butch Trucks, okay, who was Derek's uncle. Right as they, release the album, we find out that Kofi Burbridge, their keyboard player, and played all sorts of keyboards and things like that, and other assorted instruments, passed away recently. So kind of a big blow to the band, right? Because I'm sure they were getting ready to go out and tour this album and everything, and then one of their mainstays passes away. So kind of sad. So how is the album? I like it. I like all the Tedeschi Trucks Band albums. My only issue with Tedeschi Trucks is that as great as the music is, the musicianship, the songwriting, the vocals, everything, just very, very pleasant music. I kind of watched Derek Trucks kind of growing up, as probably a lot of you did, having his own solo band, and then the Derek Trucks Band, and then as a member of the Allman Brothers for all those years. And, I got to see him just ripping it up live on stage or listen to him on albums for, like 2 decades. And then he, puts together this band with his wife, and it's a great band. But man, I miss a little bit of that Derek Trucks fire, right? And you get glimpses of it in here. It's kind of like the same situation with Richie Blackmore's, with Blackmore's Night with his wife. It's pleasant music, but I just don't get as excited listening to Blackmore's Night as I do like Rainbow or Deep Purple, obviously, which is stuff that I grew up in, and that was, Blackmore with the fire. So it's kind of a similar type thing here. Really good music. Really good music. In fact, it took me probably like by the 4th listen of this is when I finally started to click with me. It's like, yeah, this is actually a really good album. But again, it's got like a really interesting mix of flavors. Some of the tunes are real mellow and soulful, almost folky at times, right? Some of the tunes have kind of like a little funk and R&B flavor to them. There's a couple like kind of like southern rock / jam tunes, like what do we got here? Signs, High Times. The opener is really good, up-tempo rocker. I'm Gonna Be There is more of a soulful piece, but very, very catchy. When Will I Begin? Another kind of mellow but catchy track. Walk Through This Life is good. Strength That Remains is solid. It's a pretty quick song. Still Your Mind, is one of my favorite tunes on here. And that, you get kind of like some nice jams from Derek, which is really good to see. Hard Case is a nice tune. The Shame is a really, really good song. Probably one of my favorite tunes on here. It's more of a rockin' tune, kind of like an Allman Brothers type of thing with some sizzling guitar work. All the World, nice tune. They Don't Shine, I like that quite a bit. The ending, the last tune, kind of mellow. In fact, I think it's They Don't Shine, or is it All the World? No, All the World, kind of like almost like a boogie tune, which is kind of cool, a little bit different from the band. Nice kind of, riffs from Derek. Vocals are great. Susan sounds great. She's just such a great singer. And I think, listening to this album, this seems like the kind of album that should be extremely popular with the masses. I mean, there's nothing you can say wrong about this stuff. Like I said, the only criticism I have is I'd like to hear Derek a little more. There's some tunes on here where he's, you barely notice he's there, but they got, this is a big band. Just to show you, give you a picture here. I mean, this is a large ensemble cast there, folks. So you've got, all sorts of, just to give you an idea here, in fact, let me put on my glasses because, of course, the writing's pretty minuscule here. So, on various tracks, you got Susan Tedeschi on lead vocals, Derek on guitars, the late Kofi on, electric piano, Hammond organ, synthesizers, mellotron, blah, blah, blah. On bass guitar, you got Tim Lefevre, drums and percussion, J.J. Johnston and Tyler Greenwell, so they usually have two drummers. Of course, Mark Quinones on congas and percussion. He was also in the Allman Brothers. On additional vocals, Mike Madison, Mark Rivers, Alicia Chakor, saxophone, Kebby Williams, trumpet, Ephraim Owens, trombone, Elizabeth Leah, claps, all all sorts of there's on a couple tunes you got cello, Alexei Romanchenko. There's just all sorts of players on this album. So this is like a big ensemble cast. And it's just good stuff. It's really, really good stuff. And it's one of those albums that a great fit to take with you to the beach, or, a nice picnic or backyard barbecue or something like that out by the pool. Very pleasant sounds, very kind of summery spring type of music. And I dig it. The more I listen to it, I like it. Again, I'm always like kind of waiting for that, some Derek Trucks explosions. But I get it that he's probably gotten a lot of that out of his system. And he likes the kind of, he doesn't have to be the shining star here. He's got, this whole cast of characters and plus his wife. And that's okay, right? So, but I dig it. Tedeschi Trucks Band, Signs. I highly recommend it. A good album, a fun album, nice listen. And I think, for many of us, will be a good soundtrack to the warmer months to come over the next few months. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on the mighty YouTube as often as possible. We get all sorts of fun stuff coming up. Jimi Hendrix Top 10 Songs this weekend with my buddy Wild Bill, who's my co-host over on the Comic Book Geezer channel. We got Gary Moore Top 10 Songs. We've got Thin Lizzy Best to Worst Albums this weekend. Possibly some other stuff. Hoping to squeeze in a questions and answers this weekend. So a lot of good stuff coming up. So we'll see you real soon. Take care.